Hey everyone, welcome to Creative Heart with Brooke. In this video I'm showing you how I made my caramel apples. I found a box of these faux red apples with the stems and the leaf left on them while I was out thrifting, and I mixed up some Type Bond and my paint color to make the caramel. So I'm dipping one of the apples in here, and then I'm going to take my little plate here and sprinkle some of my kitty litter, which looks like the nuts. It's actually crushed up corn, and I'm going to apply it all around my apple here. Now I'm going to do the other two the same way. You could also completely cover your apple with this. I'm just going halfway up on mine. And then once I get these coated, I'm going to show you what I did to them next. But I'm making sure that every little area here is just covered on my little apple. I did get a smudge right there, so I'm going to wipe it off. The last one, we're going to do the same. And then you can also take your little apples and roll it around in the litter mixture there. And it kind of just helps pack it on there and make it look all pressed on there like like it's supposed to be on there. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just rolling these around, making sure they're nice and coated, and then it kind of just helps flatten out the bottom too, so that the apples will stand up with a better base there. So I'm going to clean up this. This does make a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to show you. I have just some scrap pieces of fabric that I'm going to use for my bow. So I'm using my little bow helper here. So this one I just chose to do this pattern and then add a little bit of the cream color here because I didn't have enough of that one to do a full one. But I'm just going back and forth, layering it, and then once I get it put together, I usually pull it all the way. I'll pull it all the way to the top, and I won't pull it out until I tie it really tight. That way it just keeps it in place and doesn't make your bow, fall apart. So I'm just going to cut off the ends here to make them all the same. Then we'll get them tied on to our stem. So this is the first one. And I'm just going to tie it onto the bottom of our little stem here. A lot of people have been making these little caramel apples, and I just kind of wanted to show you my take on how I made mine. So hope you enjoy my little creations here of my apples. All right, so there's the first one, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the last two bows before we get them attached to the apple. This was just a different pattern of fabric. You can use any type of pattern. You can also use the green apples. This box just had all of the red ones, so that's why I went with the red. I've seen some done with the green, and I've seen some, done with the red. So it's whatever you decide to use. So I'm getting this last bow made. And you can see the 3 different patterns of ribbon or fabric that I use. I didn't use ribbon, sorry, fabric. So I'm going to get this one, and then we're going to attach these last two onto the apples here. And then I'm going to show you the cute little tags that I made to go on here. I created those. So here they are. I bought these little brown ones at the Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to glue my little tags that I made on these just to make it, because these were printed on cardstock, but I wanted it a little bit thicker, so I just glued them onto these little brown tags. that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm just using regular glue here. So here we go. There's our first one. And then we'll get the last two. These are going to look really cute on these little apples. So I basically just went on and told it what I wanted it to create for my tag. So that's what it came up with. So very easy. Just to put in your description and it will create whatever you want. So I'm tying it here underneath our bow so it hangs from the bottom. And I'm doing this on all three of them. And at the end, you will see the apples displayed. So there's our first one. Here's our little second one. And you probably hear little Willow. She's been playing in the floor and she just climbed up in my lap. So you'll probably hear her in the video. So, all right, so there's that one. And then our last one. And then after that, you'll see the final display of our caramel apples. So get that one on there. And again, I just cut off the jute, the excess jute from the bow and from the tag. So there you have it, our finished little apples.